Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and once again I've been out raiding the rack and I came home with 4 beautiful plants I want to show you today. Now I have got this love for plants in the Marantaceae family now. They are just beautiful, they are divas, they are supposed to be difficult to look after, they need a lot of things to keep them healthy and happy. I think I have the things that these plants need because they seem to be thriving in our indoor terrace garden here. So I've decided to get me some more of these plants because they're doing so well. Now, I went and I got myself a little extra one of these. I have a little cutting that I bought online because I couldn't find it anywhere else. But then I decided that I want to bump up that cutting and get a fuller plant because I will be getting some shelves put up soon. And then I want to put all my Maranta plants on one shelf. So, what I have to show you here, oopsie, soil and everything coming out already. So, the first beautiful Maranta I want to show you is this beautiful Maranta leuconeura erythroneura. If I'm saying that name right, because it's such a difficult name to say. But this beautiful Maranta leuconeura, it's just amazing. Those pinks and greens in those leaves, I just love them. So now I can have a fuller plant that I will be able to put up on my Maranta shelf soon. So that's the first one I have to show you. The next one here. Now this plant is really, really beautiful as well. Look at these leaves. They have kind of jaggedy edges, and when you get closer up, you can see a lot of tiny filaments, like a matrix in these leaves. It's got such a beautiful different kind of texture with these green colours that are very subtle in it. This is called Calathea musaica. Now look at those leaves close up. They're absolutely beautiful and the light can shine through them. And when you get closer, you can see the mosaic patterning in them. Look at those. Just gorgeous. Now I have seen these plants much bigger, but I decided to get a smaller one because I'm running out of space in my indoor terrace garden now, and I know that this one is going to thrive here like all the other Calatheas I have, and it will grow out tall and beautiful and lush like the others very soon. So this beautiful little plant is enough for me for now. I get to see this beautiful mosaic patterning and enjoy this plant as it grows. So that's Calathea musaica. I need to move these out of the way because the next two Calathea I have to show you are much bigger. So I need the table. Now look at this. It's already lovely and tall. It's got dark green leaves. And then down the middle of the leaves it has a beautiful white kind of feather patterning going on. It's absolutely beautiful. What a little queen it is. It's even got flowers on it, this plant. Now, it has the typical burgundy colours under the leaves like most other Calathea. And the texture, yeah, leaf-like. It's really nice actually. And look at the leaves. Look at that patterning on that leaf now. Isn't that beautiful? The green and the white kind of feather type patterning in the middle. Just turn it around so you can see it from different sides. Now this plant has been in that plastic container and in the dark a little bit, so it's folded itself all up. But tomorrow I'm expecting it to be folding out its leaves, laying flat, so that I get to see these beautiful patternings much more. Because these leaves are absolutely beautiful. If I show it much closer like this, you can actually see all those beautiful patternings much better. Isn't that wonderful? And it has so many leaves, it's just absolutely beautiful. And another thing I have to show you is, it is flowering. Look there. There's a beautiful white flower on it. There's one that's spent here, so that needs to be cut off. But it gets flowers. And it looks really cute. That's really nice. Oh, this is another beautiful Calathea to add to my collection, that's for sure. So, put that on the floor in front of me for a minute. Now I have the next Calathea to show you. This is also quite a big plant, and I think I'm gonna have to cut off this plastic this time around. Now look at the beautiful leaves on this plant. They are silver and green. It's absolutely beautiful. This plant is called Calathea magestica exotica. And it gets these lovely long vertical stems, and the leaves come out and lay out flat during the day, and they will creep up together in the evening. Because where these plants come from in nature is in forests with high humidity, South America, and they don't get very much sunlight. They might get some filtered sunlight, and hence they have this burgundy colour under the leaves. That helps to reflect any light that comes down back onto the leaf and stops any light hitting the top, penetrating through and being wasted. So the plant optimizes as much of the light as possible, and it saves as much of the humidity and moisture around it by closing around itself at night when temperatures drop. It's a very intelligent plant. You can see these Calathea and the Marantas and the Ctenanthes moving around during the duration of the day, depending on the light, and they move up and down. And we could be sitting here, and sometimes you'll hear a leaf like flip like that, or another one flip like that, and you turn around, it makes you kind of jump, but it's the leaves moving and they've got caught and then they suddenly snap up or whatever. I think it's so much fun because it really shows you that these plants are alive, they're living, they are intelligent in the fact that they know what to do to keep themselves healthy, close together, lay out the leaves, all the different things that have happened in natural selection in nature to create these fine adjustments to these plants so that they survive in the best way. They are absolutely beautiful plants. They are very sensitive plants. You cannot have these plants if you do not have high humidity in your home. So in this room here where I have all my Calatheas, I have a humidifier, and it is always on lowest around about 60% humidity. I put it on at 50% lowest. But this room always stays between 60 and 70% humidity. That is keeping these plants very happy. If they don't have the humidity, the leaves will crisp, the leaves will dry, they will brown, they will just fold together, they will start falling off, the plant will not be happy at all. Another thing about this plant that is very important, they do not like direct sunlight. They do not like direct, bright light of any form. That will burn and brown the leaves. They like filtered light. They can have filtered bright light if they're back further in a room. If they're close to a window, definitely no direct sunlight at any time, because you will kill these plants very, very quickly. And another thing with these plants is they are very sensitive to watering. You cannot water these plants with tap water directly from the tap and expect your plant to survive very long. You can do that, it might survive for a little bit of time, but then you're going to start seeing browning on the leaves and them just withering away and dying. This plant, where it comes from, there are no unnatural elements in the water. They just have filtered water that's come down through the canopy, full of goodness. So if you have water that has any kind of chlorine in it, or fluoride, or anything, that is going to eventually kill your plants. That goes for all types of Marantas, Ctenanthes, Calatheas, Stromanthes, and these kind of forest-dwelling plants. So remember, filtered water, or water that has been taken from the tap but has been left to sit for at least a day. So let the water sit on the side for 24 hours and then you can water your plant with that. That way some of the things that have been added to the water evaporate out, and that is much better for the plant. That is kind of the lowest level you should go when watering these plants. Tap water that has been left to sit on the side for 24 hours and then water them. That's what I've been doing here in Sweden, but luckily here we don't have any fluoride or anything like that in the water, so it's not very bad for these plants. But if you're somewhere where there's a lot of chlorine or fluoride or anything like that, you really do need to get distilled water, bottled water, And one good thing for these plants would be rainwater, because rainwater would have all those good elements that have been filtered down from somewhere. So you need to get rainwater from somewhere that's clean, not rainwater that's coming somewhere where it's gone through something that's made it dirty and put chemicals or whatever in it. Just clean, nice rainwater, maybe water that you get from a huge lake or something like that, or a river or something like that. That would be really wonderful for these plants. But also remember, these plants do not like their water cold. And that's why it's good to let the water sit for 24 hours as well, because then it will get to room temperature. So if you get any rainwater and things like that, don't go in and put that straight in your plant or from the tap. It needs to settle down to room temperature so that you don't shock the roots in the plant. These plants are extra sensitive to things like that, but that goes for all houseplants actually. They should always be watered with room temperature water, not cold water from the tap, because they're not sitting in a pot that's freezing cold. So when you put something freezing cold on, it's going to shock it, just like you get shocked if you stand under a cold shower. Your whole body gets shocked, okay? And the feeling can be sometimes really horrible. For us, it's different, but for plants, no, it's not very good for them at all. So I just want to bring this beautiful Calathea magestica exotica closer so you can get a good look at those leaves. Now, aren't they beautiful? It's got that veining patterning in the center of the leaves again, silvery green. And this Calathea reminds me so much of Ctenanthes. So I'm going to get my Ctenanthe, one of my Ctenanthes here. This is one of my Ctenanthes. And this is the Calathea magestica exotica. And just look at those leaves. They're very, very similar. But Calathea, they get very big. And these Ctenanthes, they don't usually get that big. But they're beautiful plants in their own rights. I have another Ctenanthe I just want to show next to this plant again. Because look at this one. Also very similar. So you can see they are from the Marantaceae family, all of these. Just beautiful plants. So here you can see all the beautiful plants that I bought when I was out raiding the rack. So all that's left for me to say now is thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video upload will be. And I will see you once again with more beautiful plants very, very soon. Thank you very much and goodbye.